Hey heroes, Kolz here. Today I'm going to go through the Ghostbusters new event. Bustin' makes me feel good. That's the only line I remember from the song. So I'm going to start out by going over the kind of like the general layout of the Ghostbusters events, breaking down free to play versus pay to play, give you a sense of like how much stuff is going to cost and what I think is like the best strategy. So at this point in the game, I'm basically free to play, and so that's how I approach these events. And then pay to play, there are definitely efficient ways to spend money. So we'll go through both real quick. First off, Hacks just put together an absolutely fantastic written guide in Discord. His theories of Ghostbuster are the same theories as my Ghostbusting. So if you want a written version of this, he has it already on Discord. The way the quests work in this is that after you unlock one quest, another quest fills in behind it. So I'm going to complete a bunch of quests here, and you'll see that after I unlock complete 5 runs, it gives me the option for completing 15 runs. So that can be hidden to some players. You'll notice it as you start unlocking these quests, but unlocking one will then unlock another one, right? And so I need to complete now 40 runs in order to get the next ticket. And that applies for all of these other quests. And I'm pretty sure, as you can see here, that like doing the required action will count towards the next ticket. It is best to claim the ticket before you get the next one. So like I didn't do that optimally here. I remember there being like maybe 1 or 2 tickets where it didn't like save through, but in this case it does look like they are saving through. So what could happen if you're free to play is you basically want to do all the spins that you can do. You get about 62 free spins, and if you get lucky during any one of those spins, the odds aren't super high, but if you get lucky and you hit Peter Venkman or Ecto 1, then you want to put all the resources into those. And that's why you don't want to spend any resources until the very last day of the event. Because you might get lucky on spin 62 and hit Ecto 1 or Peter. In which case, you're going to want to take all of the resources that you got, all that ectoplasm, and work on getting them up to either a 3-star forge or 3-star levels, or 3-star forge and 3-star levels. So waiting until the last day to spend your ectoplasm is always the best strategy, no matter what. And ideally, you want to funnel it all into like one resource, whether it be Egon, Peter, or the Ecto 1. If you're free to play and you get super unlucky and you don't hit any of the heroes or the weapons, my recommendation, if you're pre-heroic, is to grab the golden keys and the silver keys, and then the priority after that would be hero orbs, skill book cores, and skill book ultimates. So for me, this event is probably just going to be a whole lot of hero orbs, skill book cores, and skill book ultimates. The other option you have are to just put all of your resources into the Ghost Trap. Ghost Trap is the equivalent of like an egg here, and gives you a chance to unlock Slimer. Slimer is the special pet from the event. You have a 1% chance to roll a legendary pet, of which Slimer is, and then if you roll a legendary, you got a 50-50 chance to get Slimer. So each Ghost Trap has a 0.5% chance of being Slimer. So that's not very high, but if you do get any currency from ectoplasm and you don't want to just get hero shards and skill book cores because that's boring, putting it all into Ghost Trap pets is a viable option. Again, you're probably not going to luck out and get Slimer or Blazetail, but you might. So looking at the Ghostbuster Pass, if you're free to play like me, you're just going to do all of the quests that show up in the game and you'll collect the pass on the left-hand side. If you want to spend $20 on the Ghostbuster Pass in order to unlock Egon, right? I love this guy. Look at this man go. I love Egon as my favorite character from Ghostbusters. But the $20 for Egon is great. Is like great spend. $20 for a hero in Heroes vs. Hordes is generally like a very good deal, and this is for some very fun IP. The one thing to note with alternative universe heroes is that you're limited in the scope and how to upgrade them, both in star level and in forges. And this is the most important thing to get through in the event, is that unless you're willing to pay money later for alternative universe tokens, you're only going to be able to upgrade these heroes during the event, and you're not going to be able to use super tokens on their forge. So let me reiterate that for emphasis. For any of the alternative universe heroes and weapons, and you're not going to be able to use super tokens after the event is over to upgrade them. That's really important, and you're not going to be able to get hero shards basically unless you pay for them. What that means is you have to work on leveling up the heroes during the event. If you get Egon, be prepared to spend the rest of your currency in the event to level him up. And that is because from the marketplace here, you're going to be limited in the amount of, I guess it's ectoplasm, which is fun, that you can get to spend. If you do buy Egon in the pass, you're going to want to spend the rest of the event making sure you get him up to 2-star levels and getting his 3-star forge. That would be my like $20 Egon recommendation. Would be grab him with the pass and then work on getting him to 2-star levels and 3-star forge. I didn't do all the math here, but if you want to get him all the way up to 5-star levels, so if you want to grab Egon right, it'd be $20 to grab Egon and then something like $500 to max him out. And again, you're going to have to spend that money because you're not going to be able to get super tokens. You can't use super tokens to level them up later, and you won't get hero shards from like portals or from other events. So you're looking at something like $500 to get a max 5-star hero. So like this guy right now is like $500 all in to get him like this, something like that. So the other pay to play option that I think is really efficient, and this one is one that Hacks goes over again in detail in the written guide, is to work on getting up to 100 spins. So if you get 100 spins from the Ghostbusters spin wheel, you should net out enough exchange tokens to get the Ecto 1. Each spin in the wheel is worth about 67 ectoplasms. And so if you do the math, 67 times 100 plus the additional ectoplasm you get from all of the pity rewards will net you enough to get the Ecto 1. So if you want to get the Ecto 1, that's like a pretty good way to do it for $15 or so, because you get 62 free spins if you complete all the quests. The gems you get from the gem pass will essentially let you do the additional needed spins in order to hit the Ecto 1. So if you like really want to get something from the event, that's technically probably the cheapest way to, on average, get it. Would be from using the gem pass. The one thing to note, however, is that for the same reason that you have to throw all of your resources into Egon, if you use all of your spins and all of your currency in order to get the Ecto 1, you're not going to have any resources left to forge it up. And so therein lies a little bit of the problem, that in order to get this thing forged up, you need to get the Ecto 1 tokens here, and you need to ideally get it to 3-star forge, which is going to be, let's see, so it's 4,000 for every 1,000. So you need 14,000 additional ectoplasm currency to get it up to 3.5-star, to a 3-star forge. So that is just going to be like a whole ton of other spins. So in all honesty, I would not highly recommend that strategy. It will net you the Ecto 1, but it's going to be like just like the base weapon, and you're not going to be able to evolve it all that much. So if you're willing to pay $20, I'd recommend getting Egon and then putting the resources into Egon. Alrighty, so let me try and summarize real quick all of my thoughts on this. Big thing in general with this event, if you keep one thing in mind, it's don't use your ectoplasm until the last day. Last event, they added a whole bunch of stuff during the 30, 40, 42-day period. You never know what they're going to add. Don't spend your ectoplasm until the last day. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is, because it's time limited, you ideally only want to get one hero and then invest all of the resources into that hero or that weapon. So if you get really lucky and spin either Peter or the Ecto 1, you're going to want to put all your resources in getting them up to, for Peter, it would be a 2-star level with a 3-star forge. And then the Ecto 1, you want to get up to a 3-star forge for the global. And you want to try and do that during this event period. Egon was by far my favorite part of this event. I didn't hear the Ecto 1 sound, but Egon was awesome. So getting Egon for the fun hero to play. See, free to play heroes. The big value here, if you don't unfortunately get a hero, it's just going to be a lot of hero orbs, keys, and skill books. I think those are the best things to buy. The pet traps, if you just want to play Russian roulette with pets, or that's the wrong one. Just gamble with pets. Slimer looks like he's going to be not the best damaging pet, but a very, very good passive. Read Hacks' guide in Discord if you need a pointer. That's excellently written. Has all of my same advice on it. Thank you to all the executive producers. The executive producers for this are Cake Invictus, Riverwind, TheWuba, Krabs, Charlos, Lady Ikaika, Paradox, Arc, TallaNasty, Cemar, Bunni, and Sumamormy, and Clinton. Thank you all for your support. Really appreciate it. All right, I don't think I missed anything. I'm not an AI bot. I am a real person. Kolz hat is stuck back in St. Louis. I had another hat. I got a haircut. I actually don't look as bald as I was expecting to look, so I'll take it.